Welcome back to more Palworld. Where did we leave off? I was building something. See, this... Okay, I remember. But this is why I did this. I pre-built the hyperspheres so I wouldn't forget, because I just forgot, but I remembered that I was building them for this exact purpose because I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And you were working on the house. They're all coming back to me now.
Yeah. So go on with your whole friendship with your science teacher.
Okay, you make that sound way worse than it is.
Okay, yeah, you know, context.
Main context is we were talking about,
Reminiscing on the past.
yeah, we were talking about school lunches
Talk about
and
school
how...
lunches.
Because we were talking about milk, and then the milk got to the school lunches milk, but they're either sour or moldy or ice.
Yeah, I remember. This is the exact example what we, like, we'll start on one subject and it'll turn to something else. You said you aged like you were like, you aged like Mexican food. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And I'm like, they would turn this whole thing, like, I would have said, like, you aged like fucking milk.
You aged like a fine milk, and then we got into school lunches.
Yeah, go on.
And, yeah, because I used to eat school lunches when the school lunches were good. Where they had, like, it was an entire, like, what was it? Chicken thigh? An entire chicken thigh per person. And it was so flippin' good.
Yeah, the only time we ever got that kind of privilege was on, like, fancy holidays, like Thanksgiving or Memorial
That was a
Day
daily
or
thing.
some holiday.
Back when I was in elementary school. That was a daily flippin' thing.
That might have been...
And then
You know,
Michelle Obama
yeah,
happened and...
Yeah, that might have been a thing when I was there, but how my elementary school worked is it was preschool?
Yeah.
No, kindergarten. Yeah, kindergarten.
Given that I'm older, it makes sense.
Yeah. But, like, back in, like, kindergarten, I remember I only had to go to school for half a day and then I left.
Oh.
Not the case anymore. I remember going to school at, like, 8 to 12 and then leaving for lunch, and then I never get back.
So...
That used to be the thing, but not anymore.
After that, and the school lunches became pure garbage, I stopped eating lunch altogether. Until later in my school life, where I became good friends with the science teacher. And he allowed me to use the teacher's lounge's microwave.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that, and then you'd, like, bring your own lunches.
Yeah.
Bring, like, your own lunch.
I bring my own bowl, my own silverware, and then ramen.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then I cook my
It's always,
ramen
like,
in the
fun
microwave.
part, though, when you become, when you befriend your, like, teacher and such, because it's just like, oh, hey, yeah, you want to eat something? Yeah, you can use the teacher's lounge. Oh, thank you, that's very kind of you.
And he already knew that I was the quiet kid, because I was.
Quiet kid you don't mess with.
I did not talk to people. I mean, yeah, I wasn't really the quiet kid you don't mess with because, you know, those types of kids where it's like, oh, you don't mess with that kid because he could shoot up the school. I was not that kid. But...
Well, the idea is that, as my dad phrased it, you don't want to mess with a quiet kid because he obviously, if he's quiet, he knows more than he's letting on.
Well, yeah.
It's always be afraid of the quiet person because you don't know a lot about them.
Yeah. So,
well, you know,
obviously, I was not that type of person. I was a quiet kid, but not that type of quiet kid. But my face towards other people looks like I was that type of quiet kid, so...
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this, because, like, how I was just a quiet kid. I didn't say too much, because there's no reason to. I was just kind of like, eh, whatever. But because I was constantly always just, like, annoyed by a bunch of things, my eyebrows eventually started getting this natural, like, curvage, like I was always angry or pissed off at something.
I have a mad resting bitch face.
Yeah, so, like, one of my buddies, he's like, he walked into school, he's like, dude, are you alright? I'm like, yeah, why are you asking? He's like, you just look, like, really pissed off about something. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, it's just because I'm naturally always pissed off at something.
It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot to put on my fake face. Hold on.
I can't even do that. It's just it was like a neutral face. I can't really even put it, well, I could
well,
at one
that's
point put
what
on a fake
resting
smile.
bitch face is.
Yeah, all it was is just like, okay, neutral face. And I just slightly raised my eyebrows, and that was it.
Yep.
The power of facial expressions.
But because of that, he even let me stay in the science room during lunch, which he locks. So, I had a whole room to myself. It was so nice. I'd have ramen,
quite the fun.
take a nap. Stuff like that.
I mean, it was always fun though. Like when you like go to the I remember back in like elementary.
Shit.
Yeah, I never really did it in high school. I did it back in elementary school, not elementary school, middle school. Man, mixing my days up. But what would occasionally happen is one math teacher, like I think it was like once a week. Yeah, it was once a week. He'd hold like chess games or whatever in his class during lunch, so you can come in there and just start playing chess with your friends and eating lunch. I used to do that just to mess around, have some fun. It was just playing. It like went from just playing chess to like turn into playing board games.
Nice.
It was fun. Oh man, fucking whenever you did the clubs back in school, it was so stupid because apparently one club said they were like a board games club. My buddy joined up for that, and it just turned out to be another like anime club.
Oh.
They literally had a club based entirely around just anime. They'd watch anime, talk about stuff, blah blah blah. It was like a fun time then, but I didn't really watch too much anime to really care at that time.
And I wish
wasn't really
my schools
anime.
had clubs.
I just kept joining the board games club because I was allowed to either play games on, well, for a while I was allowed to play games on my phone, which at one point it was like, okay, yay, I'm playing games on my phone. Because it was, honestly, you know, I'm playing games on my phone, I do that in every other class because I already finished my work. It got a little boring.
Yeah.
But then we had, like, one teacher who was, like, really strict on, you can't just be in here and play on your phone, you had to be playing board games. Like, okay, easy enough for me. But because the one dude was signed up for, like, one class or whatever, well, like, one club that was supposed to be a board games club, it turned into another, like, anime weeaboo club, as he put it, I guess. And he just, he left his club room, came over to mine, and he just sat there and started playing board games with me. It was so funny. The teacher didn't even bat an eye. He like, told her about it, and he was just like, yeah, just turn into this, and that was, like, not what I signed up for. They're like, okay, no problem. I'll just say you weren't in here, then. Okay, thank you. And it was just, like, we kept sitting there playing board games. Man, high school was, like, the better version of schools, because you always had either the clubs or, like, the technical stuff. Like, did you ever have a tech hall in your school? Like, whereas, like, all the technical stuff, like automotive, circuitry, technician stuff, blah, blah,
I mean,
blah,
I was in robotics.
I never know that. I didn't know you were in robotics. But yeah, like, wouldn't you say that it's, like, always the technology teachers that were, like, the ones that are more fun and understanding about stuff?
Well, I didn't have such experience, unfortunately.
Darn.
My robotics teacher was alright. He was he was an alright guy, but the problem was he didn't really teach.
Oh, that sounds like a problem my school's having. Well, my high school is having now.
He was the type of guy where he's like, "Here's some lessons online. Do them." Like, cool, thank you. I totally want to learn this way by reading. That's the one way that I fucking despise working.
Yeah, you can hand me a manual and tell me to study it, but it ain't gonna work. I like being hands-on. That's how I usually understand things.
When I was in robotics class, I was the builder of our little machine because we split up into groups of 3, and each of us had our things that we did. I was the builder, someone was the programmer, and the other one was the designer / builder. So we each had our own thing. We built a nice, cool little robot, and it functioned pretty well. It's also where I got a scar on my hand.
What, did you, like, zap yourself or something?
Alright, so we were in a competition, and we already went through the first round, and we were getting ready for the next round. But we noticed when we were testing out in the first round that we were driving a little weird.
It sounds like an axle or something was off.
Indeed it was. We noticed that one of the axles was off, so we had to remove it and replace it. The axle did not want to budge.
Oh, and I'm guessing you, like, hit it pretty hard and it cut you or something?
No, actually. I took some pliers, grabbed the axle, and pulled. Obviously, it did not move. So I pulled harder and harder until eventually it gave way and my hand went flying into one of those little, like, tackle box plastic things. And just tore my knuckle to shreds.
Fun time.
I was like, well, that's not good. I'm like, I'm gonna go downstairs and get a band-aid.
Fun times. Don't you love that part though, when you're trying to do something and it turns into a bit of a disaster for a brief moment?
Hmm.
Well, I can't
And
say
then
disaster.
I go up to the guy at the counter. I'm like, hey, can I get a band-aid? And he's like, for what? For this. Oh, yeah. Let me get you one.
Oh, yeah, bro, I'll get you one. Sit still. Runs off.
It's like, yeah, thanks. Ironically, it started burning after I put on the fucking band-aid.
Yeah. I know, like, out of the stuff that has happened in my school, there had not been much. Well, let me rephrase.
Ah, that's what I need.
There had been some interesting small little endeavors, like, oh, hey, it's raining outside, and the entirety of this hallway is flooded because the school was put together horrendously. But apparently, at one point, I didn't know this had happened at one point, but apparently some kid wound up cutting off 2 of his fingers.
Damn.
Yeah. Cut,
That
like,
happened
2 of his
in,
fingers off, and then he had to.
Oh, you fuckers!
and all that.
That happened in my school.
Oh, somebody cut their fingers off.
Yeah. Once I'm done catching this thing, I'll explain why. It's just my brain is not focused on that right now because I'm trying to catch this fucking thing before the entire clan murders it.
Oh, yeah, understandable. That does remind me of another moment, like, it was like a running gag almost in the manufacturing shop.
Uh-huh.
But they call it was a manufacturing shop, but I like to refer to it as the woodworking class because we did mess with wood in there, like making little wooden snowmans, some other little wooden gizmos and stuff. Like we made bookshelves for some of the other teachers in the school.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was like it's like one of those double doors, you know, that they have in the back of like a Walmart or whatever. It's like a service entrance almost. Well, apparently that door, you know, when it shuts, it automatically locks.
Which I did not know that until that happened to me, like 2 days ago.
Yeah, well, somebody had, like, the teacher had asked somebody to take something out, and he went out, and he said, be careful, that door locks, and the door had already shut, and it's like, one of you guys go help open that? So one kid went to go open it. Apparently, the handle on the door also does not work, so when it shuts, somebody has to, well, push in that little latch, because you can squeeze your finger in there to push that latch to open up the door.
Hmm.
Well, the kid who got locked out kept tugging on the door, and some kid, when he had to put his finger in there to pull the latch to get it open, he put it in, but then the dude had tugged on the fucking door as that happened, so it wound up shredding the dude's finger. Started dripping blood and everything.
There are times where having a really graphic memory and imagination is not a good thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I can imagine that.
Thank you for that wonderful image. Anywho,
You're welcome. I could give you a better image, because I had about the same idea going on with my foot right now.
Well, I had an experience.
I was making cheese, and I dropped the cheese grater, and there went my foot.
Lovely.
No, it's a joke. I was trying to sleep a couple nights ago. Well, yeah, a couple nights ago, my cat clawed my toe just right, and cut off that fine little top layer of flesh, so it's not bleeding, but it's really freaking sensitive.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep, so I went to go grab a sock and some fucking paper towels and cleaned it out a bit, and then just went to bed after that. Not fun.
Yeah, I had I guess you could say, traumatizing experience when I was a child.
Okay, show me on the doll where he touched you.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to mention the people that lost their fingers in school. We had pottery class.
That happened to your pottery? Oh, I can actually see that.
Yeah, once I explain why, it'll make a lot more sense. There's this machine that makes clay. It also recycles clay. So,
I haven't seen a machine for much clay, as far as I can say, so I could try and picture that.
So,
or at least Google
well, I'll explain it. You'll understand very soon.
Okay, break it down for me, Carl.
This machine, basically what you do is, when you mess with clay, it's obviously moldable. But as time passes, it becomes hardened. And then becomes brittle. So how this machine works is first you have to take all that brittle clay, put it into a bucket of water, and let it sit there for quite a while until it turns back into clay and or a form of mush. You then take that and you scoop it into the top part of this machine, which when you look into the top part down, you see a giant metal coil. Or screw, essentially. Which will then rotate and push it forward into an extruder part, which is usually a square, which will then make bricks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about now. Or at least
Yeah. Can you understand how someone lost their finger to that?
Yeah, I'd say it sounds like someone was being a bit of a nincompoop, moron, idiot. There's quite a lot of words.
Oh. So they lost the finger. Now, my traumatic experience. I think I was very young. Can't remember much.
Yeah.
Enough to where anything involving bones in a very detailed story bothers me now.
Look, don't worry, Ken. I'm not detailed at all. I'm stupid.
My brain is very detailed. So, for example, when I was in school one time and we were reading a story about this one guy that got his arm trapped in between two walls when he was adventuring and he had to essentially snap that thing, I was like, can I get something else? I really am not comfortable reading this.
Oh, man. Like, I had this my English teacher was such a... Well, there's just no way around it. She was just such a bitch. Like, it's like, oh, hey, I'm not sure how your school did it, but, like, did you ever have, like, a reading lexile?
Reading lexile?
Were you ever, like, restricted to reading only certain things because you took a fancy little test that said you can only read these books?
What the fuck type of shit is that?
It's a stupid piece of shit. That's all I gotta say. That's how my school did it. They had this, like, little test you did.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Trust me, I know where you're. Yeah, I can. Like, this whole thing, how it worked is like, oh hey, you take this test, you do it, and then it tells you what books you're allowed to read, like what the reading level of some of the books were. Those are like the only books you would be allowed to read. I thought it was stupid because, on one perspective, that can't really challenge somebody's mind if they're wanting to be better at it.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to read higher level books because I liked them just from what they seemed like. I wanted to read them, but no. Because the school system where I am is so fucking stupid, they didn't really give two flying fucks. So, I kind of got screwed, and I was forced to read certain books at a certain level, if you will.
Huh.
And then at one point, I had a teacher, for an English teacher. She didn't care what books it was. Well, she did care what book level it was, but she also wanted you to, after every chapter, you would write down a summary, what happened in that chapter. So, here's what I was doing. I was reading the Diary of the Wimpy Kids books, or at least I started reading one of them. I loved it. I really wanted to read it, and because you know how it goes by days, I was using those as chapter chapter marks. I thought that'd work. I had gotten, like, I'd say maybe just a little under halfway through the book when she noticed, and then she stopped me saying, you're not supposed, this doesn't have any chapters in it. You can't read this.
So
like,
fucking stupid.
Yeah, she earned a lovely little nickname.
Bitch?
Sure it's no, I'm not sure if it's YouTube appropriate, but That
whore?
No, it's a criminal thing.
Hitler?
The killing of one person by another.
Manslaughter.
Think homophone.
What?
I'm just gonna say the word. You can edit it out in post. We used to call her Miss Homicide.
You could say homicide.
I don't know if that was YouTube appropriate or not.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know what's YouTube appropriate or not because some of their.
It's more lenient than Twitch. Twitch is a. You can't show feet. Oh, shut up.
I remember playing freaking Labyrinthian. I looked up the whole thing and I'm like, I can't say these words.
Yeah,
And it's like,
I can't say incel. It's like, are you fucking serious? Can't say it because everyone at Twitch is one.
Yeah. For people at home, Google insult. But yeah, that was essentially like what happened is that I had to deal with that for reading, and that just killed my motivation or interest to read.
I
will never read a book now because of it.
I was in because we had reading time during school. I don't know what class it was, but I remember reading time. How the fuck do I split these? Take half. Shift that.
Yeah.
Um,
Go on.
and I remember I started reading The Blob from Goosebumps.
I was that what it was called, Da Blob, or is it called The Blob and you're just saying it fancy like?
I don't know. But I remember that I was definitely, quote unquote, under the reading level by that standards.
Well, as far as I can say, it sounds like your school system was better than mine. Mine's stupid as all hell.
Yeah, that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
and of course,
I was
read the book,
restricted to
and I was
certain
actually pretty
reading
interested in it. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, it was so stupid, and like having to dick with the whole reading after chapters and getting in so much trouble from my English teacher. Only her was she ever a problem. After that, I never had a problem because she was the only one who caused any kind of problems. A lot of kids did not like her.
Mm.
And in one perspective, I like to think the idea is I got my own revenge for it.
Killed her.
Because my brother got stuck with her as his English teacher.
Mm.
He's just he's a little younger than me, not older. Ugh, I'm the oldest. But it takes a whole nother level to, I just don't give a shit. I don't care what you say. So, he was told to read these books, write this stuff. And his exact words were, no. He just didn't. And then she apparently retired that year.
Nice.
I like to think that I got revenge for her stupidity and BS. Just because he's my brother. Dude's a bit of a dick. I don't really care. We don't really even have a fucking love relationship in that, like, family on tour thing.
Oh, trust me.
We just kind of, like, respect each other's crap. That's about it.
I've cut off parts of the family.
He's the only one I'll ever really dick with in any way, shape, or form, and that's just because we respect each other's crap. We understand. Of course, I'll still fucking dick around with him because I like pissing him off. It's funny.
Right. Usual brother stuff.
Yeah, usual brother stuff that is not seen as problems. You see people fighting in public, what do? They get arrested.
Mm.
Well, what if I'm just being an asshole? Well, where's the pepper?
Should I continue breeding as Stegans, or should I move on to something else?
Well, I say... that's a good question. Well, I know you were breeding the Estegans for mining, but now we have...
that's complete.
We probably have plenty. Yeah,
the 4 Estegans
so
that I have
we
just
want something
birthed
else.
have made a Stegan version 2.
Actually, no. You could... Yeah, I think what you were doing with breeding Estegans was you're going to keep breeding them to level your Estegans, like, skill up.
I mean, that's what I just did once. But it's like, do I want to continue that, or do we want to focus on something else?
Well, are there any other breedable pals you want to try and get your hands on? Ooh, actually, wait a minute. That's a great idea. Why didn't I think of that sooner?
Well, that's another question. Is there anything you want?
No, not really. There's one idea I have in mind that you could do, just because I know you're thinking about doing it. Okay, so remember how I was telling you about the Vixies?
I thought about it, but...
We could breed Vixies.
True. It's a lot of cake just for some fucking Vixies.
Yeah, but then you don't have to waste material on building hyperspheres and stuff like that. I don't actually know entirely all what they give. I just know, like, they can give you better stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the PAL condenser? I wonder what the heck mine's at.
It's to the right of...
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Wait, where the fuck are the beds?
Oh, I moved them. They're inside now. I'm working on the bedroom of our lovely estate. Oh, I didn't sure if the not enough electricity symbols would bother you or not.
What?
The lamps I put in here for purely aesthetics, they don't work because we can't get electricity here.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Actually, I wonder. I wonder if I plop one, like, right here, if it'd work. I doubt it. Experiments. I mean, there's plenty of breedable pals you can get.
True. How do I make a hypersphere?
It's demon you.
Never mind. I've already made hyperspheres.
Yeah, you've been making them.
Oh. Okay, well, I forgot there was a sphere. Okay. Okay, this makes a lot more sense.
What? What?
Okay, I've been using red spheres, which are hyperspheres,
Yeah.
which they seem pretty ineffective by what I'm trying to catch. I'm like, what the fuck? Isn't this like the second to best? It's not! Turns out there's an ultra sphere, which I forgot existed because I'm so far in my levels that I just kind of skip past it. I'm on legendary sphere right now.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, can't build that.
Do we have a sphere assembly line 2?
No, we do not.
All right,
We haven't built that yet.
Let's build that. I need 30 nails and 5 circuitry boards.
You want to work on the nails or the circuitry boards?
I'll do the circuitry boards.
I'll work on the nails. It's a 30.
Correct. Ah, shit. I need more power oil. I'm going to the winter time.
Wintry winter. But as far as your whole science teacher comment, I had a... Was he a science teacher? Yeah, he was a science teacher. I couldn't remember, but his name was Mr. Allen, and he was like the funny, and not really the entirety funniest, but he seemed like...
Jesus Christ.
He seemed a little... it's almost like he had like a couple screws loose kind of thing.
One of
But not the
those science
wrong-
teachers.
Yeah, like, for example, it's like if you, like, there's been several times when, you know, kids fall asleep in class and teachers don't like it, blah, 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 some of them would just start shouting at you. He doesn't shout. He'll grab, like, a fire extinguisher, or he'll grab a book or something, or a hammer and just slam it on the desk right next to the kid to scare the fuck out of him. It was funny.
Nice.
It was always, dude, it was, like, funny. It's just, like, you're snoozing, and then you just hear a loud bang, and then everyone looks. It's just some kid passed out. Man,
Having a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, some of the teachers like really nice, and then you have like all those other teachers that are like, not so nice.
Are you able to restat in this game?
No, I don't think you can.
Fuck
That
me.
might be an idea. Actually, you know, that's something I didn't build yet. I should do that real quick. Make an antique dresser and see if we can.
Hmm.
I doubt it. It just says it edits your appearance.
Damn.
I don't think we can actually restat. I think that's something we're not really supposed to be able to do. I thought about the same idea, though.
So necessary.
We could reset. That'd be nice. Okay, who's warbling? I gotta smack you.
Oh, yeah. I guess I forgot to talk about it. My traumatic experience as a child.
Yeah. You know, you never really did go into detail on that. You just said, my traumatic experience.
Okay. Me and my sister were playing cops and robbers. We had this one
Okay.
closet,
Yeah, go on.
which I guess was the jail cell. I don't really remember much of that day.
I don't like closets, but it's for another reason.
But,
Well, rephrase. It's
basically
not
what we
closets,
were
but I had a
doing
weird
is one
experience.
person was going into the closet while the other person was slamming the door shut.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
You're not gonna either. Because when I went into the closet,
Future canon, paint a lovely little portrait of what he's describing. It's
Yeah,
just
no, thank
sort of a crappy 3D rendering. Not even a 3D rendering, it's just a stick figure.
and my finger ended up going in between the crease of where the hinges are in the door.
Oh, okay, so that's going a different route than what I was thinking.
Yeah, not the main part of the door, the small part of the door, where it has the most power when it closes.
Yeah.
Because of leverage.
Leverage.
So, because of that,
That's the vocab of the day, lev.
the top part of my finger, essentially, if you look at your pointer finger and you look at your nail,
Yeah.
right in the middle of your nail is where that happened. And so that
Ow.
section of my finger was removed entirely.
Ouchies. sounds like one hell of a time. I can't think as far as
And
anything like that.
I don't remember much after that, but apparently, doctor
Yeah.
wanted to remove that part of my finger, and my mother nearly killed him. So
So
instead,
it didn't happen.
no, instead they reattached it, and I actually still have a part of my finger, which I still have all the feeling in. Only difference is now it's permanently weird. It's got a squished
Well,
head, essentially. It also has 7 scars on that one spot.
Ow. So it definitely sounds like a time.
Yeah, so because of
Tune in
that...
for more.
correct, really? Yeah, so because of that, not comfortable with bone stories.
Well, the weird thing is that's not really even a bone story. That's just your finger, but I can see
I
it
know,
regardless.
but there's still a chunk missing. And now stories involving stuff like that.
Sends shivers down ye spine.
Not a fan.
I can understand that. It's totally understandable. It's not exactly fun.
No, definitely not fun. Did you make those nails?
Yeah, I did. I threw them in the container.
I'm gonna build this real quick before I end the episode because I'm gonna forget. I know me.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Okay, tune in next time for more Palworld. We talk about more random crap. See you later.